Hare Krishna. On occasion of Radhashtami, I want to narrate a very, very touching experience which I had with Srimati Radharani. We have deities at home, Shri Shri Radha Ladli Lal, who were named by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj after the deities at Barsana. The deities at Barsana also are Shri Shri Radha Ladli Lal. And these deities my wife has been worshipping since she was in her 5th standard. And these are been worshipped almost for past 35 years. Although these deities are at home, I never worshipped them. I never, kind of showed so much affection for them, because I used to feel that I am going to the main temple, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. And somehow, this offense was committed by me. Now what happens is, on one of the Thursdays, I got a phone call from the temple that there is a small Janmashtami program of a medical college. Please get Shri Shri Radha Ladli Lal to the temple. And on Friday morning, I started with Shri Shri Radha Ladli Lal on my bike. I kept all the bags, and on that bags I placed the box of deities. And as I was approaching the temple, what was happening is, this never happened. I had got these deities many times to the temple, but this never happened. These deities, kind of started, the box started tilting again and again. I got a feeling literally at one point that the deities want to just jump off from the bike. They don't want to be with me. And, in my heart, I was feeling that why this is happening. Probably then one voice came from within that I am not worshipping them. I am not respecting them. Finally, when I reached the temple, I parked the bike near the small sandwich shop which is there in front of the temple. This shop is closed now. And there was the final tilt, and I literally grabbed the deities. Then I handed it over to the temple authorities, and there was this Janmashtami celebration on Friday. Saturday night, I got the deities back, and my wife told me that Radharani's bracelet is missing. And then I called the temple. I said, this Radharani's bracelet is missing. And the person who had organized the Janmashtami festival, he went to the venue to check whether Radharani's bracelet is there. He went to the place where deities were there. He searched all over the temple, and in the night, Saturday night, he called me and he said, no, they couldn't find Radharani's bracelet. And my wife told me that if you lose one bracelet, then whole jewellery set, becomes useless, because you cannot use the jewellery set because Radharani's bracelet is not there. Next day morning, I went to the temple. I was chanting and frantically searching for Radharani's bracelet. I again went to the place where the Abhishek was done, where the deities were kept. And then as I was chanting in the temple hall, one thought came to my mind, that this deity is, at multiple places, once at Haji Ali, once near the temple, next to the dairy, the deities, the box was tilted. Whether that bracelet was fallen there. But then again, it was now 48 hours. And in that 48 hours, it had rained heavily 10 times in Mumbai. The bracelet was so small. And by this time, 2 times, the housekeeping people had wiped that area. There were beggars who have visited that place multiple times. So there was no scope. But still my mind was saying, let me just go and check whether Radharani's bracelet is lying there. And as I was walking, out of the temple, I said to my mind that, oh Lord, I'll believe firmly in you, my home deities, if I find Srimati Radharani's bracelet lying there. And I reached that spot, next to the shop, and lo and behold, I saw Radharani's bracelet lying there safely. And it was there for past 48 hours, through all the rains, through all those housekeeping activities happening there, through all those beggars and visitors. And I picked that bracelet, and I realized that these deities, they are so reciprocative. We go to devotee's house, we see the deities. Sometimes the deities are small, sometimes the deities are big, and we really sometimes feel whether these deities are Krishna. But that one incidents which happened with me made me realize what Lord Chaitanya says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Brajendra Nandan. That these are not deities. These are actually Radha and Krishna. That day I went back. I didn't tell this to my wife also. I just went back and to the altar and put the bracelet in Srimati Radharani's hand. And from that day onwards, I started worshipping them from my heart. The moment I enter home, I go and pray prostrated obeisances. I take my whole family and worship, because I realize that Pratima nahi tumi. Tumi sakshat Brajendra Nandan. This is not a Krishna and Radharani. This is, just this is not just Krishna and Radharani's dolls, or this is not just brass metal Krishna or brass metal Radharani. This is actually Krishna and this is actually Srimati Radharani, and we need to worship them in our home the same way we worship it in the temple. Hare Krishna.